Hey everybody.
Hey,
Me and Steve are starting. I guess it's more of a podcast type of thing because
I mean, we might do video at some point, but for now we're just doing audio. It's
mm,
called We Watch Movies
yeah,
because
Steve came up with the name.
that's what we try to do. Not always
Not
works out.
not successfully all the time, but we
So, I
try.
mean, we may be little shorter this time and maybe longer next time, but we'll talk about a few movies that we watched and stuff. So, you me go first or you go?
You can go first if you
All
want
right,
to.
so the first, these movies are not going to be like all horror or anything like that. They're just going to be whatever. I watch a lot of different types. I watched The Abyss 4K that came out a while back, but uh, they all Cameron's 4Ks they had like True Lies, Abyss, and Aliens. There was like for some reason I don't know, it was a scarce supply or I don't know what the problem was, but I got Aliens first, and I know some people complain about they removed all the grain and all this stuff, but I thought it looked good, better than it's ever looked before. Um, Abyss, it took me a while to get, but Orbit DVD had it for a reasonable price, and they'd say that hey, the slip covers may have a dent in it, and I was like, I don't care about that. So, and by the way, I didn't see a dent in the slipcover either way, but the movie looked amazing. Um,
I saw parts of it. It did.
some of the I forgot it came out in '89, so some CG effects kind of look a little weird, but other than that, it looked really good. Hadn't seen it in forever, and I watched the director's cut, which is almost 3 hours long. The first hour or so just fly by, but it kind of even flows as far as just the action and stuff. But it was interesting. I mean, to watch it again, and I liked it. Um,
Had it been a while since you
oh
seen
yeah,
this?
me and my dad we would go back and forth between selling the DVD, the double disc DVD. We would sell it to each other. He would buy, I would buy it from him, and then maybe he would go maybe a year, and he would go, "Can I want that back." I don't know why he just didn't say, "Can I borrow it to watch it?" But he would get it back, and then and at some point come by and go, "Hey, do you want to buy that again?" And but we traded it back and forth for a while. But yeah, I would. It's a really good science fiction movie, and uh, the I mean, I can't imagine how they made the movie and how grueling it would be to do all this stuff underwater. But so the 4K, I don't know how it may still be available. Hopefully, it is. Orbit DVD had some, so if you want to check it out,
Orbit DVD to the rescue.
yeah. So Dana, your turn.
Well, because of the recent passing of Shelley Duvall, um, I decided to watch Popeye for the first time. But I also went back and rewatched my 4K of The Shining, and I was struck again by how good The Shining looks, how good it sounds if you can have the sound turned up loud enough. Unfortunately, I was watching it at night and Steve was asleep, and that wouldn't have been a good idea, would it, Steve, to
Yeah.
blast The Shining?
Not
but
wait till I'm a little older and I'll lose my hearing. You can do whatever you want.
but I enjoyed going back and watching The Shining. As I've said before, a lot of people think I hate Kubrick's version of The Shining. No, I don't hate it. I just simply say it's not representative of the source material, which was Stephen King's book. It's a great horror movie. Um, and so I don't think I need to go into the details of The Shining other than to say if you had the ability to watch it in 4K format, I would highly recommend it. I'm sure there's. Steve's holding his head. I don't know
Mm,
why.
thank you.
Oh, you're thinking. Okay. Um, Yeah, I'm sure there's some copies of the 4K of The Shining floating around. I'm not sure what the issue was with the Abyss, unless it was limited copies, like Steve said, for some reason. But anyway, I also did watch Popeye for the first time ever, and Steve told me I wasn't missing anything with Popeye. We've got Robin Williams and Shelley Duvall as Popeye and Olive Oil.
Popeye.
Huh?
Popeye.
I pronounced it wrong?
No, it just sounds like you're Popeye.
Well, okay.
Popeye. Popeye.
Well, Steve feels like he's got to correct
Sorry.
me, but anyway, everybody knows that movie, okay? So, at least I didn't call him Mr. I like Olive Oil's mother in the movie. She thought his last name was I, so. But
Billy Eye.
Yeah, but there's no Billy Eye in this movie. So I liked it. I thought it was cute, and I, as a lot of people have said, almost everybody has said, Shelley Duvall was the perfect Olive Oil because she looks just like the cartoon character of Olive Oil. And it was cartoonish, and it was a little bit of a musical because they sang a lot in it. It wasn't like a Bollywood movie where they just spontaneously sang and danced, but it was a lot like a musical. But anyway, if you've never seen Kubrick's version of The Shining, uh, definitely don't delay on watching that. And Popeye.
Yeah.
Watch that one too. I guess I try to say it too fast.
I don't know.
But anyway, I'll turn it back over to Steve.
I guess I watched one the other day. I don't know what I'm not, sometimes I'll watch stuff that I've had for years. It's just because something I see something that talk about it or whatever. But I watched League of Extraordinary Gentlemen from 2003 or two, or I believe. Went to the theater and saw this, and really thought it was a fun movie. So I pulled up the old DVD or Blu-ray rather. Probably, God, I don't even know how old it is, but I was surprised that it really looked good. I mean, it could be the upscaling from the 4K player, but really fun movie. It's based on an Alan Moore graphic novel, but they changed a lot of the story and the characters and stuff. So it's not really the accurate, you know, but it's not very accurate to the graphic novel. At least that's what I've told. I've never read it, but they take characters from literature and put them together in a kind of a almost like a Avengers type of story. It's kind of cool. They have Alan Quatermain from King Solomon's Mine. You have Minnie Harker, who's from the Dracula story. Captain Nemo from 20,000 Leagues. They have a version of The Invisible Man, but of course, copyright they couldn't use. Well, I'm trying to remember. No, this was a Warner Brothers movie, so they couldn't use the Universal version. They have Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and in the movie they added Tom Sawyer from The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. He's grown up into he works for the Secret Service. So this takes place in 1899, and there's some attacks going around between Germany and England. So they're pointing the fingers at each other and almost getting ready to go to war. And they're using a prototype of a tank and stuff and they have like almost machine guns and flamethrowers and shit. So they recruit all these characters, and the guy brings them together. He calls himself M. So kind of almost bringing in some James Bond stuff, and they set out to find this guy called the Phantom, which is pretty original, I guess. But he's a leader of these guys with all these machine guns and armor plating and stuff. And they go out to try to I guess they're having a meeting between England and Germany and Venice. So they head to Venice with Captain Nemo's sub because they're gonna probably attack them there. And it's really, like I said, it's a fun story. And the only drawback is to know that Sean Connery plays out on Quartermain, and during this production, he really did not, I guess, get along with the director, and or just really just did not like. I guess didn't was really frustrated and didn't like the experience. So this basically was the movie right before he just said, "Screw it, I'm retiring from movies," and he never did any further movies after this. But again, I really like it. I heard at one point they were Amazon was gonna do a version of this, but maybe a more accurate version. I'm not really sure, but that would have been cool if they do it. But if stuff like this, at some point, I would imagine they would do something in the future with it because they did more stories. They did like a Mars invasion, like H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds and stuff. So they did different versions of or more novels based in the series. So that was my other one.
Oh, okay. Well, I did have to. Well, I didn't have to. I wanted to watch some movies for this past week's Everybody Wants England, and it was pre-recorded, so it gave me a little more time to watch and digest the movies. But one of the movies I watched for it was Black Swarm, which I don't think Steve has ever seen. This. It was about genetically mutated wasps, from what I can gather, and they get inside people, and when they do that, they kill them and they come back to life as like zombies. So you've got a insect attack film and a zombie film as well. It was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be kind of hokey and just really, really bad, but it turned out to be pretty good. And Robert Englund plays I guess he's kind of like a mad scientist sort. He was working for this underground government agency that wanted to use these wasps as kind of like biological warfare, like some kind of biological weapons or something. Um, but he's a good guy, really, though. He doesn't want to hurt anybody with these wasps. So, one of the others I watched, and I would recommend this one to people that like Jallos, is Night of the Sinner. I was actually, and not Center, Sinner, Sinner. Steve thought I was saying Night of the Center. Um, but it's a lot like a Jallo to me. It opens up like a Jallo. You have a killer with black gloves on, and they're using a knife, and the set pieces are pretty elaborate with the deaths. And Robert Englund plays an eccentric prince in this, and this insurance. I didn't know insurance agents or whatever or investigators or whatever. I didn't know they traveled all over and stayed at somebody's house when somebody
No.
died or something. But this woman, she's to do with an insurance agency. She comes to Italy to study the stuff that's in a library of this eccentric prince. So, but people are getting killed off, and you're not sure if it's the prince that's doing it, if it's this guy David who seems to have a lot of dark secrets, or who exactly it is. But there's a lot of twists and turns in it, and I'd highly recommend it. You can watch it on YouTube for free. So, um, and the other one I watched was A Good Day for It, and Robert Patrick's in it as a good guy, believe it or not, who had to leave his wife and daughter 15 years ago because he stole some money from these really bad guys, led by Lance Henriksen. So Lance Henriksen's playing a bad guy here, and Robert England is like his cousin, so he's a bad guy too. But so Robert Patrick really wants to see his daughter again, so he's been talking to her on the computer, chatting with her, and they agreed to meet at this Rose's Cafe. And Hal Holbrook is the cook in this little cafe, so this has got a lot of different people that you would know in it. So, and then Lance Henriksen finds out Robert Patrick's back in town, and he wants to go kill him. So him and his cronies go and try to kill Robert Patrick and his family. So, um, yeah, that was the three I watched for
Okay.
everybody
Well,
one seen one.
the last one because I just remembered it
Mm-hmm.
because I can't remember anything anymore. And Dana said Jallo. I've had this movie for a while and I just haven't watched it. It was the new 4K of Case of the Bloody Iris with Edwin Fenech and George Hilton. This is the first one I've ever a movie I ever saw with Edwidge Fenech in it, and it was the old Jallo set.
That turned you on to Edwidge.
Yeah, it turned me on for sure. But yeah, the movie looks really good on 4K. Um, I had the previous release from Shameless, but this one is probably the better. Obviously from Celluloid Dreams, I believe, and they're going to put out Black Belly of the Tarantula next. So I'll try to get it. I want to try to order it from them because they give you a bunch of extra junk, and but we'll see if I get it. Cause
What did you get with this one?
nothing.
Oh,
I mean, I went on their website, but I couldn't see any like how to order. So maybe I'm just dumb. But either way, I think this movie is like 1972 or so. I'm almost sure. Well, maybe I'm not sure. I thought it might be a Sergio Martino, but I'm not. I don't remember because I can't remember anything.
did it have an excessive amount of nudity? If not, it probably wasn't Martino.
Okay, well it might be then. Uh, we're introduced to Edwidge Fenech. George Hilton it's I don't know why he's there, but they're doing a photo shoot, and she's got her body painted in like I guess a jockey or a soccer player outfit
Oh, I remember
with a
that
number
now.
6 on her. So it's pretty fun. There's murders at this specific, I guess, apartment building, and they I guess there's this black lady is like she's in Torso as well, which is coming out on 4K. That's the other movie I forgot I need to order soon.
If you say so,
From
how
Arrow.
many versions of
Well,
that?
I'm done with Case of the Bloody Iris. Once I get the 4K of something, I am done buying it forever because I'm done.
Even if they came out with cheap 8K TVs.
Oh,
And
they're not gonna. There's no way it look better. I mean, unless we got a TV that's 200 inches or something. But
we wouldn't fit that in
no.
this house.
But I mean the black lady is some kind of like dancer, but she also wrestles people in this club, and then she gets murdered, and guess what? That frees up an apartment. So George Hilton, I don't know how he's involved. Does he own the apartment? I don't know, but him and Edwidge Fenech and her friend who
looks like Phyllis Diller.
looks like Phyllis Diller that I never noticed, like a young Phyllis Diller. Maybe Dana can put a picture up at this point in the on YouTube to show her. But anyway, and I always thought that she was somehow related to George Hilton, but I can't remember. It may be another movie that the friend is related to her. But anyway, they there's more, and also of course Edward Fenech has a crazy either boyfriend or something, and it was tied into some kind of like almost like a cult, but they were having group sex and stuff. It's very funny. It almost reminds me of that other movie that she's in with it's like Darkness. I can't remember it, but and with Ivan Razumov and stuff. But
Oh, I think I know what you're
yeah,
talking about.
but not this isn't it. But it's got the same kind of uh, storyline in it, and I guess he wanted Edward Fenech back, which I don't blame him. But he's kind of lurking around and harassing her and stuff.
Is he the one that's kind of slapping around, ripping her clothes on and shit?
Yeah, of course. And but I mean, again, back then on DVD, you could really see her beauty and stuff, and it's very. She has a unique look, and then of course on 4K with a bigger screen, it really you see everything. So it's a fun movie to watch. I would recommend it. Um, I know Cellular Dreams is putting out more stuff, so I'm hopefully they keep on being successful, so we can get more Jallos on 4K. So that's
Or
my couple there. Uh, One thing I'll just mention because just like maybe we'll do this. This is something that we catches my eye or something. I've been watching a lot of these YouTube videos, and they're called Urban Exploration or Urbex, and it's basically about a bunch of these people that go out and they'll go into like rundown buildings and just explore. And
is this these ghost things
yeah,
you're
well,
talking about?
sometimes they get, but more than likely it's not really a ghost. It's homeless people and drug dealers and other people living in these abandoned buildings. Some of them are schools, some of them are factories. There's a bunch of weird ones where the guy went somewhere and went to this place and it was in total darkness, and it's in Cleveland. I think I forgot what the Westinghouse. It's an old Westinghouse factory, and he went in there and there was in the basement in total darkness. He found a guy just sitting there, and it's like it's very weird and. I'm I'm glad I'm older than know better that I would never in a million years try to do this, but it is very frightening if you ever watch any of these things.
Steve yells a lot when he
Yeah,
watches it.
because the weird shit happens. But especially the Cleveland one, but before he got into the factory, there was like you could hear gunshots everywhere. It was like a gunfight.
No way I would do
So they were
that.
thinking that the guy that was in the basement was hiding out. Uh, you know, but still, it's pretty creepy to walk around and here's this guy just sitting here to his back and never acknowledge the guy. But anyway, that was my little add-on there. So,
Well, I have one more I
all
wanted to
right.
talk about real quick, and then we'll call it a day with this. Um, Me and Candace have started a new. Well, we haven't started it yet. We're going to pre-record an episode, and so I was rewatching my almost 4 hour director's cut of Woodstock um, last night, and I didn't get all the way through it, but I mean I've seen it more times than Steve probably wants to count that I've seen it because Steve's not a fan of Woodstock. I don't think he's a fan of the music or anything, but
Country Joe and the Fish.
well, Country Joe and the Fish was on there twice.
Oh, so nice twice.
Yeah, but you also have Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix is at the end. The Who plays. Um, Richie Havens, Joan Baez, Crosby, Stills, Nash.
Kumbaya.
She don't sing Kumbaya. She sings Joe Hill and
Oh, she sings
another.
about Stephen
No,
King's
not
son.
Stephen King's son.
Okay.
But anyway, um, but if you have any interest in the late '60s, the hippie movement, the music at that time period,
Leg hair
huh?
on women.
I didn't see any leg hair on
Well,
women.
armpit hair on women.
I didn't really see armpit hair on women, but if you have not seen Woodstock and you have an interest in that time period and stuff, oh, I saw Jerry Garcia from Grateful Dead on there last night too, and there's some funny little bits, like a couple that's not really a couple, but they enjoy each other. They have sex, or
Yeah.
as they say it on there, we
Right.
ball. We,
Oh.
that's what they said back then. I guess people don't really say that now.
No.
On some of the movies Steve watches, they say make it.
We make it. You want to
Yeah.
make it with me?
Yeah. But anyway, I would urge you to watch that if you're at all interested in that time period. And I guess that's all for me.
All right. Well, we'll do this again sometime, but maybe in a couple weeks, which is hard to say.
Yeah.
But
We were on here for about 25 minutes talking
That's a
about
good-
movies.
that's a
Steve
good time.
says that's a good round number, I guess.
That's close enough.
Okay. Well, and remember, this is We Watch Movies, right, Steve? That's
Yeah. Well, I'm getting ready to watch a movie.
Okay.
So
Hopefully, Steve can watch more than one movie
We'll
before he
see.
passes out today. But be sure to, I don't know how often we're going to do these, every 2 weeks or whatever.
every couple weeks, we'll see.
But hopefully, we'll be able to come back with a new set of movies here in a couple of weeks or so.
Right.
And say goodbye, Steve.
Goodbye, Steve.
Goodbye, everybody.